Hello and happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to your continued coverage of the VRML preseason week 2. So in tonight's North American bouts, we're going to be taking a look at Nova versus Spaghetti first up, followed by Illuminati versus Orbit in, about an hour from now, 8 p.m. Central. On the cameras tonight, it's Wit, and on casting, I'm Palidore, and being joined once more by one of our new additions to the crew in Andy W.
Hello. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for having me again, Palidore.
Of course. Yeah, Andy joined me earlier for his first cast in one of the EU games today. There were 3 of them, so I can't remember off the top of my head which it was. I had 3 different partners for the 3 different matches, but all of them I love equally, mostly.
Yeah, they were fun games to watch. It's really interesting to watch the EU side. I haven't really paid too much attention to it since I've only been around for a year, really. And seeing some of these guys and getting familiar with even some of the older faces over there has been a really interesting experience.
Yeah, there are a lot of familiar faces for someone like me, at least. I've dealt with those folk a few times over the years, but it's pretty cool. And I've been saying it in all these casts all season, having newer players, or I don't know. You're kind of like in a weird spot. Like you've been around long enough where you're not like a new player, but at the same time, like you said, compared to I guess some of the 2017 guys maybe. But it doesn't feel like you're very new, even though,
Definitely hasn't been very new. I was very lucky too. I think you guys talked about it in your podcast that you guys did the other night. If you have some like mentor to help you out, and then luckily I had Zach, which really brought me up to speed. I think I would have been really behind the curve from the amount of time I've played. To care how much time you guys have put in.
So you're saying though, Andy W, Zach W, brothers confirmed?
When we rolled up at OC6, I forgot who it was. Somebody was like, "All right, show me you guys' IDs. We got to prove that you guys are both brothers." And since we look absolutely nothing alike, just walking up next to each other.
Right.
But
All right, so we're about to start here shortly. Wit's gonna give him the old ping, and me and Andy here are gonna do our thing. Gonna be fun. I think Andy has himself. He was telling me a gamepad this time around. Did you bring it?
oh yes, thank God. Last time, it's a couple times during the cast where the camera would just like look straight down. And it's like, no, I'm trying to watch what's happening. But now we got that all sorted out.
Good. Happy. Definitely one of those little things, those minor growing pains that you kind of learn lessons from along the way. I know in Pizza League, for probably the first season, I didn't even use gamepad whatsoever for most, if not all of it. So I was just basing all of my play calls almost exclusively around the mini map, like whoever the jersey numbers on the mini map, and then I would read the possession indicator over on the top of the screen by the players' names. And that's how I would make the calls. Like, okay, this person's about to pass to that person. Just gonna look at the numbers and kind of, dart my eyes back and forth from top to bottom of the screen. But then once I got the gamepad, it was like, oh yeah, this is good. This is easier.
Yeah, it's like this is great. I was practicing around with it in the public matches in Spectator, and I was like, oh, this is fantastic. This is so nice.
Yeah, so glad you got that settled. And we're about to get settled. Seems like maybe one player either crashed or hit Spectator. Either one is quite likely on this one. Now, it should be noted, actually, that as of a couple hours ago, we have a new hot fix, and as I called it in Discord, the hottest fix, because we got the VRML default rule set actually integrated into private matches now. So when you join, you don't have to set any of the rules, except for the catapult right now. I think it's actually on 14 instead of 12. So that should be hopefully hot fixed again soon. But all the other rules are in place. The mercy rule is now in place as well. So in private matches, if they get that 20-point victory, either team, you're going to get those automatic mercies in private matches and resets to the VRML rules. So that's fantastic, and I'm really happy that we were able to do that. Or,
yeah,
well, sorry, Rad.
I just saw that they put it in there, and I thought it was just a bunch of hot fixes for bugs and whatnot. But I'm glad they actually implemented that. That's a huge helper to everybody, especially all the little nuances with people setting the wrong rules and having to go back and reset.
Yeah, just one of those little things that are, growing pains. And for week 1, we saw a few cases where that would have been really handy. And, well, just like that, Ready at Dawn, they recognized it. They're like, hey, what would you think about if we did this? And we're like, that'd be great. And then 1 week later, boom. So that's quite nice. Also, hello real quick, chat. As always, Rosie asking Andy as caster, question mark, question mark. Yep, that's correct.
I
And
have
doing a mighty good
needed.
job.
Thank you.
No problem. So, yeah, Joust is out and flying right through him. Sen is able to capture that disc off the stun and send it down the floor to Venom. Venom's going to have 3 goalies in there, stunning one of them. Going for the pass. Nice dunk as well. That was great.
Yeah, that was a pretty looking setup there. That was a really nice start off the Joust and a strong start for Team Nova here.
For sure. And both these teams, actually, Nova and Spaghetti, looking for their first victory here in week 2 and on the preseason. Both these teams had, if I don't say so myself, some pretty impressive debut matches. Just could not quite get the wins, but still showed some good stuff. So one of these teams is going to take their first victory here, and it'll be entertaining to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Looking like a bit of fiesta in front of the orange goal. Venom smacking it forward. It's going to come back down onto the shield, and Venom hopefully going to be looking to get a successful clear here. Holding on to it, taking his time, making sure he can get this one out, and takes it looks like a wall shot off the side to try to clear it and buy his team some time.
Yeah, and over on Nova's side, Issa and Venom, Sir Dimwee, our casting compadre in VRML, and Zesper. So quick shout out to them. And then Spaghetti, Mini Hat, Ow, Meatballer 90, and Wiper. Gotta love those names over on Spaghetti. So far, the 2 points early for Nova, but now both teams just playing that midfield game and recollecting it there is Esend all the same. And well, there you go. Look at that punch, and now the boost gonna get that disc as long as they don't overshoot. I was trying not to do the commentator's curse that time. I was gonna wait, and indeed they didn't overshoot, so they got it. And are sending it over to Ao at mid. Now he's going to have a bounce shot. There is a stack coming through. It has a little bit of a shot going to float right back to Ao's hands. Nope, actually the stack on the attack from the back. And now Zesper is going to look for the clear.
Yeah, that's a nice little wall bounce clear. It's almost dangerous. I could have almost been even online. It looks like Ao's going to be able to recover this for blue team. Or Venom's team, or Nova's team rather, is not really getting too much of an offensive setup. It'd be nice to see. It looks like it's just kind of a lot of that kind of panicky clearing back and forth going on right now that we see in the starting of these games.
Absolutely, and we saw that even earlier in the EU matches where the first couple minutes of them, there was a lot of just feeling out, and it's like, okay, we start off a little messy. We're going to feel this out. We're going to take our opportunities. I mean, there you go for one attempt at the goal, but just dinging it off, unfortunately, and getting the clear now. But yeah, those first couple minutes are just a little bit scrambled, but usually it settles down after a few. Fars says, Andy, take my money. So he's moved on from me. Now he's wanting to give it all to you. Fair enough.
Fair enough. I'm still, we're all waiting for Ignite merch. We're all waiting for it.
Yeah.
Got to be ready to represent.
I've rejected Fars way too many times, so now he's done. He's done with me. That's all right. Now Esend is going to send that out, finding Zesper down the floor. Zesper's going to line that up. There's a stack coming through, but not quick enough because that is a 3-point shot lined up from Zesper nicely for the 5-point lead.
Yeah, that's a great shot by Zesper. Zesper is one of those guys. He's been so consistent with these 3-pointers. When we used to scrim him all the time, he would punish all of our open goals and just score these nice threes. And it just looks like he's finally starting to hit that stride and start making these shots in this match.
Yeah, it's good to see, especially. Yeah, I've been curious also just how that's going to unfold for these players. And like we were saying earlier, so many new teams and looking for a one-on-one opportunity. Meet Baller for the first 2 on Spaghetti's team. But as I was mentioning, like, there's so many new players and new teams, and we were talking about how you're relatively new in the sense that you've been around for a year versus the 2 for a lot of these players. But we're seeing so much new faces or old faces in new places. It's really exciting to see what everyone's doing. I talked about Orbit coming up in the next match as well. They're a surprising team in week 1 that I'm looking forward to. But
yeah, and Orbit
still
was
some action.
super interesting. They were kind of doing some meta-breaking strats, trying to figure out something new, tossing the disc straight down off of the initial QB joust. And
yeah,
it was
what did they call that one? I forgot. Ooh.
I don't even know what they call it, but it's super interesting to see some new players, especially some different teams, maybe guys who didn't play so much competitive, trying this new stuff and trying to set some new metas.
Some good boosting there, able to get the disc first for Spaghetti. I'm trying to remember. I think it was the orbital drop or orbital strike or something like that. It was something kind of clever like that. Orbital drop, I want to say. But now it's going to be Zesper on the attack. He finds a nice back pass to Venom. Venom just trying to slide out of the way of the defense as they collapse on him. Finds the back pass to Dimwit. Dimwit's going to look down low to Zesper, but Zesper cannot get the handles. So instead, YPerm is going to have a clear straight down mid, but now boost coming through for Nova. Now it's going to be recollected by Meatballer. Going to take a bounce into the goal area. That was another one of those where it just looked like it had a really great chance at it. And now losing his man, YPerm, is going to find that pass nicely to Ow. And ouch, as it finds the goal to bring them within 1.
Yeah, that was a crazy little setup. They had so many people clustered up around that shield nest area, and to be able to find out and get that pass across into a nice little 2-point one-on-one there.
Dash was mentioning to me, he was the one who casted Spaghetti's first game before I had the chance, because there was another a simulcast basically going on that I was doing. But he mentioned how Spaghetti took him almost off guard with just how nice their passing game seemed, and how collected they were, despite the fact that we weren't too familiar with these players. But like quickly, in just a week now, week and a half, making their name here in the Echo Arena competitive scene. And there, right there we can see YPerm now. He's going to still get the clear and some more boost coming through. So now looking for that 3 off the backboard. That was a daring shot attempt. Did not pay for it though, did Nova. So
yeah, Nova getting a bit lucky there. Meatballer getting punched out with Venom going to end up taking this forward. Let's see what he's going to be able to do with this. Getting pressured and just going for the clear. Let's see if the boost from Nova is going to come through. But it looks like Team Spaghetti here is going to end up just going.
Did you just say sauce? You're in Pizza League mode for a minute.
I'm in Pizza League mode, yeah. That's
little known,
in my mind.
Little known fact, the W in NDW stands for worm. That's something the chat said, not me. That was Jay Kemble. Is this true?
That is one of my buddies from one of my flight schools at college. A dangerous shot there coming off the rim, and a nice little recovery. Going to tap that forward and coming up off of Bowtie. Let's see how they're going to recover from this.
Well, it looks like Zesper is going to recover and take that deep shot. Oh, barely off the mark. That was almost a gorgeous one from beyond half court. But Meatball is going to be a Meatballer and look for that bounce off the side panels. Maybe recollected by YPerm. Looks like he will get there first. And, well, see what they do now as the defense retreats all for Nova into the goal finally. And now pressures the disc. So cross pass defended well there by Zesper. Zesper's going to get stunned, so now buys the opportunity for Ow to get that recollect, trying to find the pass, but also off the mark. One more rebound, but now off the head. So Venom is going to collect that, but send it to Ow instead. Now Ow is going to go into the goal, and it will be a score right on Sir Dimwee. Almost getting the save, but it's going to be off of him.
Ooh, that's tough for Dimwit there. I mean, we've seen that happen in the past couple matches where he gets a little bit unlucky. Oh, it looks like we have a drop.
Ooh, it's going to be rough.
Let's see how they're going to end up working this out.
I will say on Dimwee's behalf, it looks like he was able to turn that. I think it was a 3-point shot, so at least he turned it into a 2, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, a crash, unfortunately for Spaghetti, a drop out. Damn, Spaghetti does have the 1-point advantage here, but now they have the, well, 1-man advantage for Team Nova. So see if they can capitalize off this, and it's going to be sent to Venom, and there you go, 1 point. 1-point lead, that is.
That's a bit unfortunate for Team Spaghetti. Maybe a little bit demoralizing, but as long as they keep their head in this, they still have time to come back in this game and still make it count.
Yeah, and they have. Spaghetti has the option here if they wanted to restart. Looks like no one hitting the button, though, so maybe just trying to get their man back in time. Not sure that's the best move, especially with only a minute left, but not opting for the restart. And just still down a man, but they're going to try and make something happen, so YPerm is going to take that one, back it on out to Ow. Ow's going to look deep down. Cannot find anyone's hands except the enemy players on Nova. Now, still without a fourth, and Nova might be looking to just drain out the clock if they can, especially with this 1-man advantage. They're not going to be super pressured in that back line. They probably are just going to hold this one out for the rest of it if they're smart.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they're not going to go for a reset. They kind of just ended up burning their own clock off. I mean, it looks like Mini Hat wasn't even playing there. They used setting an invite. And a
got
nice
the shot, though.
Coming up. That was well played to them. I'm still kind of
Yeah.
completely confused at why they wouldn't take the stop.
I know. I'm frustrated on Spaghetti's behalf, honestly, because they had the advantage, but now the round will end based off that. So maybe some sort of miscommunication or misunderstanding. And to clarify also, so if crashes do happen, you do play until the next goal is scored, but the team who lost the player, they can request a restart over at the match terminals and get that sorted. But Spaghetti just not opting for it, so I kind of feel for them there. But nonetheless, it will be the round 1 victory to Nova as a result.
Yeah. I mean, that was a relatively close game. That was a fun game
Oh,
to
yeah,
watch.
yeah.
A lot of back and forth. Then went unfortunately but he took that 3-pointer away, turned that into a 2-pointer, and then Venom had that nice backboard shot to put them up in the lead. And they did the right thing. If they weren't going to take the time out, just going and just basically playing pass since they have the extra man until they just pretty much ran the clock out.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It was so close that's kind of why I'm more disappointed. We didn't get a reset because it's like, oh yeah, one minute left. This is a tight game, but that's okay because we got more rounds of play. And Spaghetti, though, exactly what we talked about and what I was mentioning about that passing, it was really on point. These players just coming out of nowhere, and they're looking pretty well oiled.
Yeah, and it's not easy
Spaghetti.
to have that kind of synergy. Well, oiled spaghetti, but what are they saying? Those goons, they're calling it butterwalk now. That's what they're going around yelling, the kids. But
you asked the wrong casting partner.
That's their thing. They're going around and yelling butterwalk like they're doing a cakewalk. That's their big chant now. But they're
butterwalk, man. Okay, I've never heard that.
Yeah, they're a funny little group. But it looks like Spaghetti's going to be winning this joust, coming forward and taking the disc up. It's going to be on the sidewall up by Hourglass. Nobody back in goal yet. It looks like an open 3, and they will take that for a nice little open 3.
It is power hour for Al getting that 3-point shot. I like that he looked back for the re-grab because it was floating off just a little bit past their hands on Spaghetti. And so they looked right back next to each other for a short range boost into the disc, and that's what bought them the open goal. Also, see, chat is with me there. I isolate and Danimal says WTF is butterwalk. Exactly.
I was thinking the same thing until I heard it the other day, and all these guys are just laughing about it. So they're out there having a good time for sure.
Yeah. You better believe it. So anyways, we're going to go to Nova now on this shot deep from half court. Wow, a straight line stinger from Zesper.
There it comes out from Zesper. That's what I was talking about, those 3-pointers. He just knows how to punish them, and he just whips that in through a mail slot. That's a tough shot, and that was a fantastic shot coming out from him.
That was a thing of beauty. Lining that up, and yeah, you called Zesper earlier. Someone finding his groove, finding those 3-point shots as of late. Well, no better example than that shot right there. That was a great one. So it is 3-3, tied up. Maybe another 3 on the way. Not so, though, because down low, it's going to be out of the rebound after that miss. Now, another grab. So this time, Venom can't get the clear. It's going to bounce back to the hands of Venom, getting his own pass, but only briefly because now Ao finds Mini Hat. As Ao takes a station up there on the nest, they go down low to Meatballer instead. There may be a dunk opportunity, but no. Sir Dimwee, the nice grab, the soft clear. And now some light stacks on the rebound, trying to get there. So it's East End first, off the backboard, a little too low. Gonna reach the hands of no one as it floats by past them, but finally taken there by Ao and Mini Hat. And another chance.
Whoa, that looked like that was going to be online too. A nice little save there from Dimwee, and keep the pressure coming forward for Team Nova.
So some midfield goalkeeping in a sense for Dimwee. Can do it in the goal and even 50 feet out of the goal. Why not? So Venom is going to find a pass now to Dimwee. Just sails past them. Yperm takes a lovely little boost off to recover that disc. Finds a clear. Now there's a secondary stack impending and trying to recover there. Gets there for Spaghetti, and Spaghetti already with a 6.
That's nice. The boost from Nova, not necessarily getting back. I'm not sure if they're getting brawled out, but it was a nice little boost there coming from Spaghetti to make sure they got there in time. Even though they missed it, they still had enough time to get that open 3 still. And
now to the tune of 8 points, actually, for Ao. across these 2 rounds. He's the game high. And, oh, there was that crash, so I'm not sure what his teammate had scored up till that point. But nonetheless, gonna attack that goal on the 3-point look. Why Perm? So curling that just around that edge of the barrier with the defense all nearby. That was a tough one as well.
Yeah, that's another tough shot. Another just open three going right over to Spaghetti's side. Just absolutely punishing every time they have something. Maybe leaving it open too much.
Coming out with some strength. I am quite impressed here, especially off that rough game 1, that round 1 loss. And the crash that occurred in the last minute, but yeah, they're just showing that they can come here and remain, collected and keep to their game plan, keep doing what they've been doing. And now they're ahead by 6 points for the moment, but we still have 6 minutes left in the second round. So good pass down low, but Dimwee is covered by Wiperm, still retaining it. Zesper's going to find a barrier pass, and that was a great assist from Zesper to Isen.
Yeah, that was a nice pass out. Realized that he was a little bit too covered coming down on top, had to jump up and grab that pass, and then just gave it a nice pass out to Isen, just allowing him to come in and take that nice 2-pointer.
Highest percentage possible shot, right? When you get those ones from right in front of goal where you have all these angles to shoot from. So it was good recognition, and it was good distribution of that disc to find the way and pave the way for that 2-pointer. So into the hands of Sir Dimwee, trying to get that out of there, but still taken back by Mini Hat. Mini Hat to the bow tie, and it's Al looking maybe nope to get stunned. He was trying to find his passing lane, but the good coverage from Nova there.
Yeah, that was some good defense coming out. Looks like it's a little bit of a scramble down low. They're going to clear it off the tunnel wall, bounce forward, and Venom is going to be back in time in order to take this disc. Oh, just kidding. It's going to float too far in front of him off the back wall. He's going to get stunned out. See, Spaghetti's going to possibly get this. Venom with a nice brawl there, and they're going to try to get this disc free.
But in the back line, Meatballer hanging back there. So right back on the attack. Just keeping control on this side of the floor, it seems. It's Spaghetti with 4.5 left in this one, backing it out now. So good patience and floor spacing. Gotta appreciate that, especially from a newer team.
Yeah, it's just incredibly difficult, especially with 4v4, just having to have the spatial awareness, know where your teammates are. A little bit of a missed shot coming there, and a recollection. Nice shot from Al there to go and take that shot and secure it.
Yeah, and spinning around in celebration afterwards.
It's always nice to see a little bit of a celebration. But as we've kind of talked about with 4v4, it's incredibly difficult to have that positional awareness and know where everything is, and especially just making sure you can slow down. It's coming from a new team. It's a difficult feat to try to get everybody in a row. So it's nice to see them have that down.
They're doing it with efficiency. Gotta love it. Now it is an 11-5 lead for Spaghetti in the second round. It was Nova who took the first one. Now quick on the stack. Oh, but better on the save. Mini Hat. How about that? Collecting that one in his hat and trying to put a feather in his cap if he can get back to defense right now. Not making the shot, though. Missed connection, but still back on the rebound is Isen, and he's going to back it out and find Dimwee. So a nice reset there. And maybe can buy them an open goal if they're lucky, but no, because diving again and taking the disc. Now it's Al with the clear, trying to find a stack as it goes deep into that 2-point area, or towards it anyways, a sidewall now. But it looks like a little bit slow on the recovery from both teams. Too many brawls going on. Not enough boost as a result, so Nova takes that over. Now, so far, it's Zesper and Venom over on Nova, equally at 6 points. Isen's going to bring that up for Nova. Look for that backboard pass, and that is what they needed to buy themselves a couple more points.
Yeah, that was a nice pass up front. They just let Isen kind of walk it up. It sounds like an absolute war zone out there. They're just absolutely brawling it out. Just nonstop. A lot of the boosts not really coming in. But still going to be up. Spaghetti 11-7. And it's still looking like a great game.
Spaghetti with some control here. Now the stack on the approach. They're going to collect it based off that. So that was nicely done from Team Nova. Now Venom has a disc. He's going to look for the clear and boost, but looks like the momentum got stopped there, but it's going to be recovered now by Spaghetti. Finding their clears and into the bottom ramp. Also finding their stacks. Actually might have a bounce. Nope. It's going to be a stun. And into the hands of Zesper, but stolen by Perm. Why not? Some great handiwork there from the Nova or Spaghetti players defensively, and then going in for 2 more. It's offensively meet Baller.
Yeah, that's just some more nice passing coming out from Spaghetti, just keeping it slow, calm. They look collected. They're not just panic throwing the disc everywhere, and they're really coming together. It's looking great.
It is. That was assisted by Al there. And don't look now, but Wiperm finding himself with 54 stuns, which is quite a hefty margin over everyone else in this game right now. So he is doing some absolute brawl work right now. Fists of Fury, and Zesper is gonna come up on this goal. Look for that cross pass nicely on over and into the goal for 2 more. This time coming from Nova. Yeah, 54 stuns for Wiperm. The next highest are all in the low 30s. So he's pulling ahead.
Yeah, he is having a big brawler role in this game. Taking a few lessons from Hasko maybe, but he's doing a great job for his team. Just keeping those boosts back and doing a really crucial job, actually.
Right, so when you wonder, hey, where are those boosts? Well, that's where they are. They're being stopped by, most likely, Wiperm. Now, coming in for the steal, though, Venom nicely getting it over to Esen. Got 30 seconds left, a 13-9 score, so Spaghetti in good position to take this second round. Now they're going to shoot their shot. It's going to be off, but Venom is also there for the rebound. Maybe can get themselves one more score if they're careful. Taking the shot off the bounce, still recovered by Al. And with 10 seconds left, that will likely be the second round. So we're going to go into a third round to decide the winner of this series. That was quite the effort there, and comeback from Spaghetti after just losing by a goal in that last round, the first round.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to think. It's still on my mind that they didn't take the timeout, just get the guy back in, take the pause. But coming back and showing up pretty strong in that match, it shows that they definitely had what it takes to win in the first half. Team Nova maybe could be potentially a little tilted off of the stunning for sure. I know that's definitely a little frustrating to deal against, constantly having to try to block and get somebody off. But Team Nova really does have a chance though to keep coming back in this game. I think they just keep their head down.
Oh yeah, no, it's been close. I mean, we've only seen a small handful of games or series go to the third round so far. So this is gonna be one of those. I hear players in the chat or in the game. Seems like they're calling timeout. Someone called timeout. Yeah, sounds like it. Okay, so we may be having an intermission for an undetermined reason before this third match. That's fine. That's within the rules. Each team is allowed 1 timeout per series. 5 minutes max, I do believe.
I believe it is 5 minutes max. That's the first timeout I've definitely seen.
Yeah. So, despite this game starting, at the very least, we heard the timeout. However, no one restarted, so that's kind of interesting. Okay. All right, there we go. Yeah, okay. So now they're in position to restart. Okay, so yeah, we're good. They're going to take their time out over there on Spaghetti's side, I believe. They're the ones who called it. Actually, no, maybe it was Nova.
Actually, yeah, I believe it was Nova. Yeah. I thought I heard Esen yelling from the lockers to take a timeout.
My mistake.
That's all right. But kind of interesting. Probably a good call. Just take a timeout, talk about what they can do, see what they may be doing wrong.
Yeah. And, well, I guess we'll take that opportunity quick to check that team stats, because I've been unintentionally avoiding it. I keep mentioning like the game stats, but the team stats over on like possession time, things like that. A lot of shots more taken by Spaghetti's side. They have 57% of the shots taken, but more assists coming from Nova. So basically almost equalizing each other in that one throughout the rounds. And okay, so the players are saying they're going to switch servers, so maybe a ping thing at play. Either way, we're going to have to switch it up here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I definitely saw Al before the game started. He might have been jittering around a little bit. I know sometimes he has some internet problems. Could be a potential issue.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's saying it sounded like they were playing an EU game. But I'm just looking at the stat sheet, just looking at see if I can get the pull up here. There we go. Yperm, 57 stuns. That's absolutely mental to have in just a 2-game series so far. That's absolutely massive for his team and definitely having a huge impact.
A literal impact.
Literally.
Knuckles to faces. Yeah, that's just a strong effort there on that end. And you mentioned earlier in our original cast, I think it was, pretty sure it was you. Yeah, you were talking about how just the rock, paper, scissors nature and, you know, of those brawls. Actually, no, it might not have been you, but
Was
we'll
that me?
just...
I don't think that's me.
We'll say it was you. I know who it was
Anyway.
now, but instead of acknowledging my mistake, we're just going to pretend I didn't mistake it at all. So go with me. Anyway.
Yeah. So
Also,
explaining
chat giving you some love. Just wanted to point out as well. Andy
yeah,
is Gucci, says
fantastic.
Shepard. Yeah.
Thank you, Shepard. Chrome saying he's a natural. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I agree. It's been a pleasantly smooth cast these first two with you. Gotta love it.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's definitely a change of pace. It's fun kind of just watching the competitive scene, talking about it at the same time, getting a little different look instead of just playing it.
Your real life friend trying to keep you humble, though.
Yeah, he's a bit of a goober. That's all right. That's all fun and games.
He's a goober. You're a worm.
Looks like they're now disconnecting. I wonder what server they're on currently and what they want to switch to.
Good question. Hopefully they'll be able to figure that out and then we could get ourselves recollected after this brief intermission. That's okay. I'm content to sit here conversing with you.
Yeah, I am too. It is... I've been enjoying what actually comes out of a lot of these casts. A lot of teams have been able to find this incredibly useful, just to have the commentary, have somebody kind of maybe tell them what they're doing right or wrong, and just be able to see it from the nice spectator cameras that we get from all these. It's really been a super helpful tool for just like team discussion on what's been going wrong and where we can be different.
Yeah, like have that
Nice little intermission here, switching servers. I got an invite from Venom now.
Hello again, Wit and Twitch. Apparently Discord going wonky, so hopefully... If it was going to happen, I was just saying, good that it happened now. Oh. Well, Wit was... Okay, so Wit just informed us that chat had not heard what we were talking about for a little while, so... Oh, 30 seconds. Well, that's nothing.
That's all right.
We didn't say anything overly vital, I think. Yeah, got my invite, so we're just gonna get everyone back into the match. A good opportunity, by the way, on that note, to shout out Atlas. Been meaning to do that again. That is to say the app made by Exhibit. I believe So Much for Subtlety also contributes to those efforts, and yeah, for anyone who hasn't downloaded it, again, it's an amazing tool, basically a private match browser. It just helps teams get organized into the games faster, especially off of crashes or the start of the matches. You can just host a game on Atlas. You can even whitelist the teams who are allowed in said match, so you can kind of lock it off or leave it open, whatever the case, though. Very handy tool. So if you want to download that, visit the Echo Games Discord, the Echo VR Discord over in the League Announcements channel. It's one of the recent posts there. And have a download at it. It's easy to set up, and it's extremely handy. Now, with that said, I'm also going to host an Atlas match here for Andy and Wit, assuming they're not in already. There we go. See? Atlas. Good effect,
Atlas,
just like that.
It's fantastic. You connect super quick too. It's super helpful too when you're playing, in case you do get dropped. I think it was Far or somebody on Ignite when they had a drop. They got back super quick.
I made that comment, and then Far corrected me in chat. He's like, nope. Didn't have
really?
Atlas, but I appreciate the call out. Yeah, I was surprised too because he was back in like 15 seconds.
Oh, that was lightning quick. Yeah. That looked like for sure he was using it.
Are you back in the game, by the way?
Yes, I am back.
Okay, excellent. So, okay, Wit is in, Andy is in. I'm just going to briefly rejoin. That way I can get my fancy higher field of view and whatever. And also, I'm just lazy to change my audio settings, to be honest. So, but yeah, there we go. And should be getting ready and set to go for this third round after that brief delay. Apologies for that to the folks at home, but thanks for sticking around and for chatting it up. A lot of people all up in there. Shepherd / Danimal, 17th Charge, Duller Ranger, Chrome Platypus, Jay Kemble, the Worm Man. Or sorry, the Goober, I should say.
The Goober himself. Gilligan showing up now.
Huh, okay, I can't. Maybe, okay, can one of you guys host it on Atlas for me instead? Maybe I got the wrong match ID. Thank you. Is it up? Well, hurry up, Wit. Also, I'm not talking to myself, so people on stream, you can't hear Wit, but he's in our ear when we need to communicate and stuff and say things that we don't want the stream to hear. No, just kidding. You don't have any secrets, usually.
Yeah, Palidore's not losing his mind, going insane hearing the voices.
Well, I didn't say that. I just said, in this case, I'm not talking to myself. All right, well, in any case, assuming I can get back in here quickly, we should be ready to start the first round.
Yeah, they already started.
Oh, well, take it away then, Andy. I'm almost in the game.
Yeah, they kind of had an unfortunate headbutt coming off the start. Spaghetti having that bounce back, or actually bounce forward. I think that was Team Nova. Kind of got dangerous back in their goal, but they're going to be taking it up the floor now. Sir Dimwee holding on the disc, going to be passing that up to Zesper. And a nice little cross pass down to Venom there, and it's a nice little behind the goal high percentage shot. That was a very nice setup. Very solid pass.
And you might have seen me over there on Team Spaghetti for a moment. So, hey, I still play this game. All right, so just once again trying to get back into the spec mode. I was having a little rough time with it, but now I'm back and okay, we can do this now. So it's Ow from Spaghetti. This third round getting started after that brief intermission, and it's going to be Meatballer up the floor. Got some good positioning there in the back line, but they opted for the front pass instead, so maybe ill-advised there, causing the turnover. There was a pass available to the side. So see if they can get back there on the recollection, and they will. So it's Ow for Spaghetti. 8.5 still to go in this one. And now it's going to be a wayward clear or pass, whatever it was. Mini Hat found it, and he's going to take it and look down that tunnel. And now a bounce shot has a chance. Looks a little bit too much to the left indeed, but rebound Y-Perm, the slam dunk. Tying it up.
Fun little slam dunk there, grabbing onto the rim and spinning that one on in. Nice little setup there. Owl coming back, and they've been having really great boosts getting back on defense and keeping up that pressure forward onto Team Nova here.
So Y-Perm, the first two for Spaghetti, and Venom, the first two for Nova. And now maybe a couple more off this bounce. That has a shot as well. Oh, so very close. That was, what?
Ooh.
Was I the only? Anyway, so a little bit of interesting interactions going on. Venom doing some magic tricks for us as he collects that disc. And now looks for, nope, it's going to be intercepted. Actually, he had a teammate in that tunnel, but it was cut off nicely by Ow. Now Ow's going to take it in. Oh, daring shot, and it will pay off, in fact, for the 3. Wow.
Oh yeah, that was a very daring shot. I'm kind of surprised that one ended up going in. Maybe it just took a little bit of an awkward bounce for Dimwit. That happens from time to time. But kind of unfortunate. Good shot though by Meatballer nonetheless. This nice little three-pointer to get his team up into the lead with a 5-2 score now.
Those bottom backboard shots I found, and again, I'm not a career goalie by any means, but from the other directions, easier to save. It seems like when it comes from the bottom, it can just take you off guard a little bit more. At least
Yeah, coming from the
by
bottom, it is definitely a little bit more difficult. Being a teammate with Palace, the little backboard legend there, that's one of his favorite shots to take.
Shout out Palace, yeah. No, I've noticed that, absolutely. He takes a lot of backward shots with great efficiency, just like that
Ooh.
three from Venom.
That was a nice shot from Venom, tying it up for his team. Just kind of snuck it on in there.
Talk about daring shots. I mean, he snuck that one through exactly for the three as well. So taking some extended range ones, but it's ultimately buying them some results. I think one of the tricky things about those bottom backboard shots is because a lot of the times offensive players also they like aiming for that very bottom corner of the goal. And this one actually bounces and is recollected by Isen. But they like aiming for the bottom of that goal. So as a goalie, sometimes you want to try and play that angle for the straight shot, but then next thing you know it gets past you through the backboard and through for the three. Venom, speaking of, stinging him again.
Yeah, another great three-pointer from Venom coming back, getting him up basically 6 points now. It's just a great effort from Venom. Nice little tunnel shot there to really get him up into the lead now.
About 5.5 left in this third round. It is 1-1. First round taken by Nova and second round taken by Spaghetti. Third round all up in the air. Back and forth we go with this action. And now, leaving the goal, so maybe paying for it, and they will. Now it's tied up yet again.
Oh man, you could see that in one of the earlier games. They were leaving the goal open on accident. It looks like another one of those coming back to sting him, and Al just absolutely punishing them with another three, tying up the match again with this back and forth match.
It's one of those things where it kind of got caught, the defender got caught in no man's land. It's like, okay, I want to go get this disc, but then the other player got there first, and now you find yourself in one of those awkward floaty positions where you can't really get anywhere very fast, and yeah, tough situation that I think we've all been through now and again.
Yeah, those are always just painful, trying to get some momentum to get going.
Yeah, and well, Al's gonna look for that disc and find a clear as well. It's kind of, it's one of those things when you're floating back that slowly, sorry, recollected there. It's kind of like almost a walk of shame of sorts. Like, yep, I was out of position and now everyone knows it because I'm floating so slowly back to goal. It will be
like a big brawl through the middle. Wiper doing maybe a little bit of an Ender impression. Oh my man, the brawling just continue all the way down through tunnel pit, slapping it into the back of his teammate's head, and Zesper's gonna recollect this and throw this one out.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was our Royal Rumble for the evening as these teams take a tumble back for the disc. Nova's going to find their passing now,
Oh, no.
or try to, I should say, in that tunnel area, but getting a little bit jumbled up now. Slowly floating on through. Zesper's going to get stunned, enabling that three-point score from Meatballer for the 3 points. 3-point lead at that.
Oh man, another punished open net. That's a great shot by Meatballer, and that was just the most entertaining little rumble we had going on, all the way from the middle of the map, carried over onto tunnel, and then cleared out. That was great to watch.
It was fight night here in the arena. But now, just trying to fight for the victory is going to be Nova finding themselves down by 3. We've seen these teams trade off goal for goal, 3 for 3 over the last couple minutes, so we're going to see if they're going to maybe go for it again. They'll play it patiently, or they're just willing to go right for those threes. But instead, it's just going to be a clear after that steal. So Yperm is there with a boost with Al. Venom is in tow, and now defender in the goal. So Al is going to go for it, spin around, trying to juke. He's doing some mighty fine handiwork, footwork, whatever you want to call it, but it still results in a turnover into the bubble. It's going to float on into the hands of Isen. He's able to get the rebound for the 2.
That's nice. That was a dangerous little clear that almost ended up bouncing in. Kind of curious. I was wondering, if he was going to end up trying to headbutt that in or not to try to keep it up as a 3-pointer and tie it up. But it still takes a 2 nonetheless, and they have 2 minutes to go.
It would have been interesting and pretty epic, I should say, if he made that happen. But I'm not sure I would risk it unless it's directly in front. I can't tell you how many headbutt goals, even just in practice mode, that I'm a foot away from the goal and it somehow goes the complete opposite direction. I just don't bother.
Yeah, it's definitely a difficult shot to make. I think something with the Rift S, I find a little bit better accuracy, but it can still just absolutely destroy your plans. So it's definitely better to take the safe route there.
Yeah, I agree because I still had a couple minutes left. And oh, the shot! But Isen coming out of the stun just in time. That was almost good coordination by Spaghetti on the stun goalie, but maybe a half second too late. And now this shot, if it goes in, that is gonna be the lead for Team Nova. A minute 30 left in this one, and that was exactly the shot they needed.
What a clutch boob shot coming out. You love to see it. That was a nice little way to get him up 2 points with a minute and 18 seconds left now.
Fantastic from Nova. Now, see, that is why, with a couple minutes left on that earlier shot, they could have used a 3, but they just opted for the safer route. And now, maybe some momentum. Venom looking to get one more in there. It's going to float back on. Mini Hat's there for the recovery, but so is Venom trying to contest it, working hard on the brawling end, and Dimwee is going to come ahead, find the pass ahead, and now the 2-point lead with under a minute left. And all they have to do is, oh, no, it's going to be taken back by Meatballer. I was going to say, if they back it out, they might have this. And this could be dangerous as a result because there's a lot of spaghetti on the floor. And now trying to cleaning it up. But instead, again, back to the other side it goes. So cleaning up that mess on defense. And, ooh, these teams back and forth. This is dangerous. So now, Nova.
Absolutely fantastic.
Now Nova just has to protect that disc. If they can get it out of there, that's their #1 priority now with 19 seconds on the clock. 2-point lead. Do not allow any threes at this point. They should have someone camping at goal if I were them, just denying those 3-point attempts. Because worst case scenario, we might be going into overtime depending on what Spaghetti does here. But not looking for the pass. Still recovered and tapped out. And with that, it will be the victory for Team Nova in round 3, last second.
That was a great game. It looked almost as if Mini Hat might have gone into a pass-through or something. He was kind of caught looking the wrong way. But that's a great close match. Probably one of the better matches out of all these series. Absolutely entertaining to watch. That clutch boob shot coming out from Isen put him up into the lead.
Absolutely incredible finish. That final minute of gameplay or so, final minute and a half or so. First that shot that could have been a headbutt, but they got the 2, and then coming right back on defense, they get the quick bounce shot off the ceiling. They did everything they needed to do on Nova to come through with that victory, and so Spaghetti just couldn't find that last shot. And I saw what you were talking about there. Someone, Mini Hat, I think you said, it was by the Ness, and that just kind of the pass just sort of leaked past them, enabling that last slap out clear to close out the game. That was great still. I mean, great effort. And again, great game. One of the better ones we've seen for sure. Not the best one, just in terms of differential, things like that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, looks like you guys are going to have to be moving on to your next game pretty soon. Coming up with the Illuminati. And who are they playing?
Illuminati will be playing Orbit.
And that should be a fun match as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one for sure. And we'll be casting it actually with Kung as my co-caster for this one. So talk about new casters. It's going to be Kung sliding on into the seat. And, well, yeah, we'll see his casting debut. So 2 debuts today from our casting crew. And with that said, thanks once again for joining us, Andy. I think, as the chat said, you're a natural. It's been fun. Glad to have you on board.
Yeah, thanks, man. Chat's been great. Very nice to me. And thank you for having me in here on the cast.
Absolutely. So congrats to Team Nova on their first win of the season. Spaghetti for showing a lot of great stuff in that one. Wit again on cameras. I've been Palidore. That was Andy W. Still is Andy W. And we'll be right back with our next and final match of the evening with, not Spaghetti, with Illuminati, yes, versus Orbit. And that's going to be a barn burner for sure. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.